Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, I posted the Tom Aspinall spar, the technical rounds that I did with Tom, the UFC Heavyweight Champion of the world. And I was looking at the comments and the feedback. Great feedback, great response. Really appreciate each and every person that took the time to watch that and, comment and be respectful. I really appreciate it. The spar with me and Tom was very technical, very respectful, thank God, because, Tom made me feel comfortable, when I was sparring with him. I'm pretty sure there was times where he'd flick a jab out or he'd hit me with a body kick or he'd move left to right and I'd think, oh, that was quick, and I instantly knew that, if he wanted to turn it up, if he wanted to go up a notch, it would be very uncomfortable for me. I was under no illusions that this man that was stood in front of me was world levels above me, elite levels above me, and he made it comfortable and he made for good content. I still know when I've watched that spar, that it was clear to see that Tom was the elite striker, was the better fighter, but I enjoyed it. He kept it respectful. There was other guys on them mats that I was sparring with, big lads, PFL fighters, other big organisations that weren't so respectful, so I had to be sharp, I had to be on the ball, I had to be on point. I think I'd done about 8 5-minute rounds before I'd sparred with Tom, but even his jab and his movement was just so quick, so fast, to the point where, even though he was keeping it respectful and letting me enjoy myself, at his pace, he dictated, the spar, and he allowed me to enjoy myself. But I just felt like any given moment he could have stepped it up and made it really uncomfortable for me. What I took away from the spar with Tom is that, there's levels, and I've always said there's levels. It's when I speak about other fighters and I watch other fighters and I think, look, I know I'm a level above him, I know I'm levels above him. It's because I've sparred and fought against lads who've been levels above me, many times. Tom is the best fighter I've ever, been in the presence of, I've ever shared the mats with, but there's been other boxers and other disciplines like Muay Thai lads, K1 kickboxing lads, where I fought, they're good, and I've felt a level below him, that dictated the pace, they've been sharper with the punches and kicks, and it's made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. But I suppose you've got to practice being the nail so you can learn to be the hammer. That's why I think when you're traveling around and sparring with these world elite fighters, you've got to make sure that you're sparring with people who are better than you, because you're not going to learn anything. If you're sparring with people who you're better than all the time, then you're just going to get too comfortable. You're not going to learn anything. You get too comfortable being the hammer, you're not going to ever feel like you're not going to get to know what it's like to be the nail. You don't find out what you're made of unless you've been the nail a few times in sparring and in training, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I got to go down and spar and train with Tom Aspinall, who is now the heavyweight world champion in the UFC, which is fucking amazing. But yeah, God bless, guys. Take care.